I was right. You were the first ever entertainment act to headline Shakespeare's Globe Theatre.
Yeah, that was a big one. First
that is
ever.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was a great honour.
How did that come about? What was that?
The guy who was running Shakespeare's Globe Theatre thought he saw a parallel between us and what Shakespeare was doing at the time, and I was like, "Are you mad?" But then he was like, "No, when Shakespeare actually did his plays, English wasn't spoken.
Yeah.
The posh people in England, they spoke French."
Really?
Because the elite of England spoke French because the kingdom of England had its connection with France. So if you can see it now in how we speak about food. Pork, it's called pork on the table, but it's called a pig in the field. It's called poultry on the table, but it's called chicken in the field. That's because poultry comes from poulet, which is the French word. And then chicken is an Anglo-Saxon English word.
Yeah.
Rich people ate chicken, poor people raised chicken. So we can still see that in our language today. So what Shakespeare did in the 15th century is that he was doing these gigs outside the walls of London and doing them for the poor, the thieves and the prostitutes who spoke this language called English, which was considered a gutter language. And Shakespeare was the first man to go, I'm going to write a play in this gutter language. So at the time, he would have been like NWA. It was very, very radical. And it's where the concept of the hipster came about at that time, because the phrase slumming it, rich people within the walls of the city of London would slum it by going to Shakespeare's Globe Theatre, and they would have to share the audience with what they saw as peasants. And like the performers used to have to wear special coats because the fleas would jump from the peasants to the audience.
And of course, that's no reflection on the audience that you guys have.
No. But that's what Shakespeare was, and it's because of how he used language. So the promoter saw a parallel between us and that. He was a bit of a mad promoter. He went around barefoot all the time, but he put us on.
Amazing.
But it's mad. Modern drama.
But that's the thing that's in history now, that you guys are there as that.
I know, it's great, yeah.
As part of such an iconic venue. It's insane.
But modern drama, you can trace it to Shakespeare. You can trace it to that format. If you look at The Sopranos, right? If in The Sopranos or something, or in even in Breaking Bad, if they're talking about something serious, it's always immediately followed by a sex scene or a scene of violence. That comes from Shakespeare. The nature of the theatre. You had the poor, uneducated people in the front, and then you had the educated people who were richer at the back. And Shakespeare needed to create drama that was both political and then a sword fight or something sexual for the people who didn't have the education or the language. And we still have that in our dramas today because of that theatre on the outskirts of London.